Hey guys, it's Hob Bramble from the Board Game Geek forums. I'm here to talk a little more about Epic Strategy. This is the third video I've done, all in one night, in fact all in a row, and I'm only going to talk about one strategy here, and I'm going to talk about it very briefly. And it's something I've brought up a little bit in my last two videos on Inheritance of the Meek and on Army of the Apocalypse. And it is the concept of basing your whole deck around one card. Obviously, you should never do this. You should never base your whole deck around only one card. In early and experienced games, it's, fine. But once you really get going, any player, if you play even 2 or 3 games with someone, it's going to start getting ugly to do that because they're going to start thinking of ways to block it. Not to mention, when you've only got 30 cards in your deck, the chances of you getting the one card you need, or worse, if you're playing with, say, Army of the Apocalypse and Amnesia, like I discussed in my last video, getting both at the same time of your 30 and not having them be like the last 2 cards in your deck, unlikely. Not, impossible. Not even really that unlikely, I guess, with only 30 cards, but it's not, you don't want to have to rely on that. You need to have other strategies. That said, there are certain cards that are so great that you want to have them in your deck if you can, no matter whether or not you're building a one-card strategy around them. Now, I could be wrong about this. It's early. I've only played the game a few times. It hasn't been out that long, but one of the ones I've picked up on that I think is one of sort of the must-have cards is Time Master. Now, Time Master has his downsides. He costs a gold. He's not free. He's only a 1/1 champion, which, for paying a gold, is pretty lousy. But, and when he doesn't have Blitz, he does have Ambush, which is important. If at all possible, you want to have Time Master out early. You get him out early, and you play him at the end of your opponent's turn. You play him as a spell when your opponent ends their turn with Ambush. That way you don't use a gold on your turn to play him. You don't want to use a gold on your turn to play him because you want to get his maximum bonus on your first turn with him. Even if you don't, it's every turn you have with him, you'll be glad you did. Because of his second tap ability. Tap to draw a card is nice, but tap to gain a gold is insane. Being able to play 2 1-gold cards per turn is out of this world. You can play cards with recall abilities, sometimes a couple of times. You can play, if you have a card that costs nothing and recalls for a gold, you can play it for free, recall it for a gold, play it for free again, recall it for a gold again, and play it a third time. That's wild. Time Master allows you to do things like this. Time Master also allows you to get lots of powerful events and powerful champions out quickly. Obviously, he gives you a second gold for every turn he's out. Now, admittedly, after playing a few games with a few people, one thing we all realized is exactly how great Time Master was. So we all immediately switched as quickly as possible to the strategy of destroy Time Master immediately. Do not let this guy live. That said, he's a great card to have. If you get a chance to put him in your deck, you should, especially because of his ambush ability. Even if he only gives you 1 gold on your turn, an extra gold on your turn once. Even if you just play him at the end of an opponent's turn using ambush, and then your next turn get 2 gold, or 3 if you're playing in one of the, with the Elder God cards, that extra gold is going to be killer. You are going to be so glad you did it. If you have Time Master, it can be great to have Corpse Taker. Corpse Taker, remember, lets you return a target 1 gold champion from your discard pile to your hand as a tribute. If you have something like Corpse Taker, or even, obviously, Army of the Apocalypse going for you, which just brings back all of the champions in discard piles, that's handy, because if you lose Time Master, you want him back. He's not going to last forever. He might not even get drawn. But if you can get him, Time Master is bar none one of the most solid cards you can get in your deck. Don't build your whole strategy around him, but any strategy you have can be supercharged by this guy. Assuming your strategy isn't only play cards that cost nothing. You can supercharge it with that one tap ability. I'm Hob Bramble, and this is the third of my quick sort of pointer epic strategy videos. If you liked it, please leave a comment. If you didn't, please leave a comment and tell me why you didn't, because I'd love to know where I'm screwing up. Because I'm sure I am. I'm sure there are strategies other people are thinking of that break all these. But I'd like to hear from you guys. Thanks.